So
Chris is like,
hang on.
shut up, lads,
Go
because
with-
I'm not recording.
Go with that there. And can you make sure to say something about it's not our setup? It might be a bit
yeah. Don't worry, I'll
imperfect
introduce it,
audio or something like that.
Yeah. So we'll get straight in. Welcome to the RUNcensored Podcast with me, Ben Mounsey, Gary House, and for the second time in the house is Andy Berry. Fresh from a UTMB experience. We're going to get talking about his race in a bit. Before we do, just to mention, we are in Chamonix, our second home, basically. Yep. So because of that, we're in Chris's little dingy apartment, and the setup isn't the same as it usually is it,
we haven't
Chris?
taken Andy hostage. It's not a hostage video.
Yeah, there are certainly a lot less lights and things this time.
Ignore the hand signals. He's safe, I promise. He's
Holding
safe.
an innovative answer. We're not going to let him know.
Yeah, apologies from my side. We've gone very lightweight because of couldn't really bring a load of kit out, so we're on our lightweight mics and stuff. So it might not be the usual perfect audio quality, but hopefully it's an interesting pod. And that's where you guys come in.
And before we step in as well, this episode is sponsored by Garmin. So thank you, Garmin, for, basically sorting me and Gary out with a watch. Budget didn't quite stretch.
I didn't get told about the free watches.
Andy, I think you and I missed out on this. So if Garmin are listening, there's two more of this.
You're sponsored by the local patisserie.
Hey, I went and bought those this morning. I can't even eat them.
Yeah, well, you can claim it back. You'll be all right. Don't worry.
Unfortunately, the budget didn't quite stretch to 3 or 4 watches, but you can have my box if you want, Chris. I'll probably let you do.
If you hadn't have paid for dinner last night.
I mean, if you are tuning and listening and watching this and you're thinking they're looking pretty rough, these lads, it's been a long week, hasn't it?
It has been a long week.
For me and Gary on the content side, obviously for Andy on the running side, and we're just at the end of it now, aren't we? I think we're just on the last segment of battery.
Yeah.
But we want to get a pod out. We want to just chat about the week and the experience.
I think the whole of Chamonix is probably on the last bit of battery.
Yeah.
This place is just like, see everybody walking around. I
said to Ben, it's like, I just don't want to speak to anyone today that I don't already know. It's like, I'm just going to avoid people. So I'm looking forward to speaking to you lads, because even me and Ben haven't had a chat really. Just been doing day by day. And I did get to chat to you briefly, but it was
it's been
a bit more intense. More people around.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, let's get going with Andy's race experience, I guess. No spoilers from the start, but let's talk about how early did you get over, because you're not someone that can afford the time to come out early for.
Yeah, so we flew out Friday into Geneva and then got up here Saturday and stayed up in Chamonix.
Yeah.
So about a week.
Yeah.
Spent a bit of time up at altitude. We did, part of my tale of woe is we did kind of catch a bit of a cold on the way over.
Yeah.
So just kind of trying to.
It's easily done travelling, isn't it?
Smash in some vitamin C and things like that, and
that is the hard thing with like ultra running in general, isn't it? All that training for like one big goal, as it were, but like these little things can all like add up, can't they? And so many things can go wrong, can't they?
Yeah, I did the classic thing of just kind of persuade yourself that it's not happening, and just kind of look, whatever happens because of that side of it. But definitely at the start, kind of like I controlled my pace very well, but my heart rate was a lot higher than what it should have been for that pace. But I'm sure we'll get to that.
Was it nice, like, staying out of Chamonix as well? Because it is mental inside, isn't it?
It's beautiful up there. Like, it really was. It was just that nice kind of plenty of people around, but not too busy. And it was definitely... I knew that when we came to Chamonix, it was time to go to the circus. I had to be kind of ready for that.
Yeah. And do you find it hard having that week of being in such an amazing place, but having to like keep it chilled? Are you looking at the mountains going, I'd love to just do, maybe I'll just go for a few hours?
Fortunately, Jess is carrying a bit of an injury, so it was just nice just to go,
so you kind of just chill.
A bit of hiking and nothing major, just kind of got the lifts up.
Yeah.
And then just kind of totted about at a higher altitude, and then just did a couple of smaller shakeout runs by myself. So,
had you wrecked like the UTMB course before, or were you sort of keeping it just kind of for the day and the experience?
No, so I came out to Chamonix with my son last year, so I'd done the first 10 miles and the last 10 miles, but everything else was kind of brand new, and kind of watched some videos on YouTube and that kind of thing. But
was that part of the plan though, to kind of keep it as not a well, I suppose a surprise really, but part of the experience? So you're going into it like into the unknown almost, but to enjoy it firsthand.
Exactly, and just kind of come and enjoy it for what it is. Like, it is having now experienced 130k of it, like, it is just its own thing, and my experience of it will be probably quite different, being at the front end of the field and things. But it was actually a lot better than what I thought it was going to be, in terms of, I kind of thought that, oh well, I'll come and do it because everybody's done it, and you know, it's one of the races that you should probably do.
Yeah.
But it was a lot better of a race, and I can kind of see why a lot of people do work so hard to come and.
And I think even though you will have a different perspective, it's like you only have to look at everyone that's either supporting or around it. It's like we say, like we've said millions of times, you don't have to agree with the whole thing, but like the people all the way through that race are just absolutely, I mean, they're well looked after for one, but they're just fully into it, aren't they? Yeah,
you can see why it's the pinnacle race of trail running, can't you? Like,
I think so for a lot of people. It's like I battle with it still, a bit like Andy saying, if I was going into that race, I'd be expecting not to have a great kind of, I don't know, experience. But I just don't think that's the case unless you actually do it. So I'm glad that you did have a good experience, because that's the worry sometimes, isn't it? You feel like, especially with an athlete like Andy, that I feel like I need to go and do it, and it might be not great, and you've had a positive experience from that side of things.
Yeah, I think that almost because it's become so professional.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not getting paid enough money to not work, basically, and only run. It kind of took a bit of the pressure off.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I haven't got the tools at my disposal that your Tom Evans and your John Albans do. And
these days there's such a strength in depth. There's so many athletes like yourself in that same position, aren't you? Yeah. So I'm not in that position, but I imagine that's almost quite good as well, because you're racing against.
You know, I said to Jess at the start, there's 150 guys on that start line who all think that they can finish between 21 and 23 hours. You know, so it's only about who can put together their best race on the day and who can get that little bit of luck.
But a lot of those, pretty much every one of those guys you talked about would have been out at altitude in, like, Teen, for example, like for 6, 7, 8 weeks, and they'll have had like nutritionists. I mean, some of them have been in the camp in Chamonix with like people cooking them food and like massages.
So the Salomon camp had like 2 chefs.
It's crazy, isn't it? And like you're working.
Were you
training,
having lactate tests on your ear every check?
That's crazy.
Little sports scientist running around checkpoints. It's just like Dolph Lundgren.
It's hard to compete with that though, isn't it? As well, like that's I've always battled with that in a different way, because I'm doing the shorter distance races. But when you're racing guys and girls that are living at altitude, who are experiencing these trails and getting to run on this kind of terrain all the time, they're at a massive advantage, aren't they? Like,
I don't want to hide behind that as an excuse, though, because I still feel that with a bit more luck, and a bit, to be honest, it's just like just some of the uncontrollables that just happen in ultra running. That is the sport. That's kind of why we like it, right? Like, it's because it's so unpredictable.
Yeah, definitely.
And with some of those going my way, I still feel that 21, 22 hours is something that I could physically achieve. And I think that's.
Yeah. How did it feel? What getting to the start line then? Because we know from our point of view, and again, we were in a privileged position. We're in the little bar next to the start line with the HOKA team and everything, so we could see everyone sat down for like an hour and a half. Like that, and then you have the top ranked ones getting introduced down the corral and all that kind of stuff. Like, what are you thinking in that 10 minutes before the race, or even 15? Was it building? Were you able to keep it under control? Were you just itching to get going?
Yeah, like, it's funny, I kind of walked in with Jess, and she, we kind of ended up walking like down the start chute, and she was like, whoa, like this is like a goldfish bowl. Because it was like 8 deep either side, just like looking because you've been let through, and it's like, oh, he must be somebody then, because otherwise he wouldn't have been let through.
Yeah.
And it's hanging out the balconies and all
just
sorts.
like, you know, you got the police on the rooftops, like looking around, and you're just like, wow, this is pretty crazy. But like within myself, I was really just quite calm about it, and just kind of got in there and just kind of lay down, put my head on my pack for a bit until it got a bit busier, and just remembered why I was there, and soak it up and enjoy it. And you know, I think I saw like two of the elite runners like come in there crying, like
really, like just the pressure.
Must have been just like the pressure or whatever. And just like, you're like, wow, like, I mean,
because it is intense, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, and from quite an early time as well. Like it starts at what is it, quarter to?
It was 5:45 this year because of the route change.
Yeah, but even the build up, like the hours before, the crowds are there, aren't they? I mean, is it? And there's like buzz, isn't there? Like, you know, like
any big sporting event, like, you know, like a big football match or something like that, and there's that like kind of buzz in the town beforehand.
Yeah.
It's that kind of thing.
How soon did you come into that? Is it a horrible day for you in terms of like nerves, because it's a weird time to start a race, isn't it? If you know what I mean. Well, it would be for me, but like all through the day, you sort of like just thinking about the race, and you're just like, I want to get going now.
Yeah, you see, like I think that's like there are a couple of things that make me a decent ultra runner. And one of them is I can always sleep. So I just went to bed in the middle of the day and just had a couple hours. Like I don't really.
Can you switch off? Have you got
just kind of switch that off. But yeah, like I don't mind that start time actually, because you get the night
done.
Again, like with my hoped finish time, I was only ever going to have one night.
Yeah.
So then you get the night out of the way, put your head torch away, and then it's just a big fun day out in the hills when the sun comes up. But so yeah, the Friday was fine. Like I was fairly relaxed. We just kind of like chilled out. We were staying down like 2 miles down the road, so we just kind of chilled out there. And we didn't actually come into town until 4:30, quarter to 5 or something like that. Again, major advantage. You just kind of walk where you've got your special entrance, and you know it's such an elitist race. Like it is an insanely elitist race.
I know you've done other big events outside the UK and stuff, but was it odd having those little luxuries or whatever we want to call them? Because I know like the kind of races you've done, and it's not like you stood on Moot Hall with like just kind of event to go. It's kind of like Moot Hall. Is it? I just find that. Like I think it's a good spectacle and everything, but are you almost like, just thinking, wow, this is just insane, and then you're bumping into elites and stuff like that because for me it'd be like, oh, there's so and so and there's so and so that you don't really know, but you're all in there then, aren't you? And there's no hiding place. You're looking for someone that you know to talk to, or do you keep yourself to yourself?
Yeah, so I mean, I've never met him before, but I talked to Tom Jolly on the start line. And he was dead nice, and he's like, oh, I don't think you've wrecked much of it, have you? I was like, no. So he kind of gave us a run through of some of the bits to watch out for and things like that. So that was good and super nice of him, and so we just had a bit of crack with him.
Is there much chat with the elites, or is everybody kind of doing their own thing, really?
Everybody seems to know each other.
Yeah. So it's like a circuit, isn't it? Yeah.
How do you all know each other? Is there a party that I'm not invited to or something like?
Brilliant. I mean, it must feel amazing on that start line when Vangelis Conquest of Paradise, that music comes on, because even I get goosebumps when it is amazing, isn't it? That kind of build up, the 3 minutes before until that crescendo of like starting the race. Were you getting really excited?
Have you seen the Lego movie?
No,
I
haven't seen it.
You know the bit with like Lord Business and the way they're like, we're the nice guys.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like on the start line when they're like trying to get people to sing fucking John Lennon and like, hey, everybody like us again. Come on, we're the good guys. We're just like, literally, I turned to Tom and said,
I've not seen them do that. I know they must do, but I couldn't believe that John Lennon.
Oh, that was a little. Well, I don't know if you've.
Some people were saying to me, I was with some people, and they were saying that was just weird.
It felt weird. It was
so
forced. Like, if you want to say like stop the war in Ukraine, say it. If you want to say free Palestine, just fucking say it. Like, don't just fucking hide behind singing John Lennon. Like, fuck's sake.
I don't know if you saw, but Gary was dressed as Chamonix final boss, so he had the full like wig outfit on. It was absolutely hilarious. But we were going to send him. We were going to send him down on because he had a media pass. we were going to put him on the sideline and just get him going behind, just dancing.
So like the big front row of photographers on your right as you're going out. I'm in there with the photographers, just like dancing the final.
But you were going to try and get down actually behind him.
I could have, but I just thought, that's pushing. But more, I wasn't bothered about the organisation. It was more, I don't want to
spend the
piss
night
off.
in
No, the
Chamonix jail.
photographers that have been camped there with the perfect thing. They've got me, dickhead, in the front of them. Trying to get a picture of Courtney. Everyone's on her. And it's like, you've got me wandering around.
Oh, I couldn't imagine being her in this place.
Oh,
I think she genuinely enjoys herself. I don't know, but
she deals with it incredibly well.
Yeah, she does, yeah.
I will,
Yeah.
because it is like her and Ludo, but it's different for her. I think it's.
I know she keeps a really tight-knit circle of like friends and support crew around her. It's difficult to even get in, like to get interviews with her. It's almost impossible. But then to be so social with people, because she's having to connect with everybody, isn't she? And she's really like, I suppose, accessible to everybody at UTMB when they're watching her as well. She is the face at the moment of ultra run, isn't she?
Yeah.
So to go from that to that, I think she's amazing.
Yeah.
So let's fast forward. We haven't even started your race yet. You've got final boss on the side having a beer. You've got the cameras all coming down.
Just so you know, here's final boss. For audio people, I'm showing
Oh, nice.
and the Gary's Instagram post.
Yeah.
That is brilliant.
So none of the HOKA lot knew or anything, so I had to go and turn up, and it was one of the American guys was like, Gary? I was like, yeah. He's like, thanks for having so much fun with us out this week. I said, oh yeah, what do you do? He's like, yeah. What was he like? Head of athlete partnerships or something.
It's a big dog at HOKA, wasn't it?
Yeah. In the US kind of thing. I was like, oh, I'm very sorry. He was like, no, it's amazing. And he was like buzzing off it all night. But they were calling me the on guy.
Yeah.
So over in America, I don't know why, they picked up on the on thing more than the Ibiza thing. So it was like, yeah, where's your ons, Gary? And I was like, what?
Surreal.
Yeah, and then it pissed down, and you're just in this wig, and it's like. So when you move out of town, I've not obviously experienced it. Like last year, I was on the start line somewhere else, having to do a video as everyone ran off. And I know Ben last year was sat in the pub down the road seeing it, but I've actually not seen you all leave, to be honest.
The noise didn't really stop.
Yeah, and it was just constant all the way out.
Yeah.
It's a fast start as well, isn't it? Like at the front end, there's people going off like pretty quick, aren't they?
Yeah, I felt like I took it as calm as I could, but we were still clocking like 4:15 Ks out of town. So
it's
for the start of an ultra, it's still all right. But
What is it, about 8K or something down the road?
Yeah.
So you start getting off?
What is it until you turn off onto the trail? It's not that far, is it?
It's not that
It's
far.
a couple of miles, and then you're onto like rolling trail. And
Okay, yeah.
There won't have been any bottlenecks, I suppose, for you, will there?
No, so even the bridge was.
Yeah,
fine that
that's
they
what I
had
was
to-
going to ask about, because they put that temporary bridge up, haven't they? Or like it's a different way of crossing over the river,
Yeah,
isn't it?
so there'd been a landslide, so then
That's
they
it.
took us over the other side and
Yeah.
went around. So yeah, so then that was all right. Then it started raining, and I was like, okay, here we go. It's going to be a fun evening.
When you saw the weather forecast and it started raining, were you thinking, actually, this is going to suit me
Yeah.
being from the UK?
Yeah,
Probably
yeah.
what you wanted, wasn't it?
Yeah, started bringing a bit of mountain craft into the
Yeah.
into the game, and I felt that it would.
How much did you know about the weather? Like, how detailed?
In terms of
Did you do? How much planning did you do for it? Because it was truly horrific, wasn't it? After about 45 minutes.
so
for
what I
about
did,
3 hours.
So I figured that 3 hours up to the first checkpoint, I was like, okay, thinnest waterproof I've got, like going to be running at intensity, and so you're going to stay warm. But then I knew after that we climbed up to whatever it is, 2,500 meters. So I put a thicker waterproof in my pack.
Yeah.
And again, just the little things. So I left the thin waterproof on and just doubled the waterproof up.
Yeah.
And then I knew that I still had the kit. So then when I got to Cormailleur, eventually I just dumped the thick one again.
Yeah.
And so that kind of
That experience of knowing how to layer up.
But I was really surprised. So like we got to about 2,000 meters, and the rain was still going, and it was starting to go sleety, and I knew there was a chance it was going to go to snow. And I stopped, and even though it meant I had to take my side of the trail, took my shoes off, put my waterproof trousers on, got like everything out of my pack that I needed, and got myself set before I went over the top.
Yeah, it's worth it, isn't it?
And like the amount of people who didn't do that, and then you kind of saw everybody in trousers passing people without trousers, like
yeah.
like pretty quickly, and it was
good
just
decision
worth
to make
doing.
that.
And
It's like when to take the pit stop in Formula 1, isn't it? Like if you get it in early before the weather comes in and you've got the right tyres on,
my thinking was, well, I'm not going to get warmer. I'm only going higher, and then we're staying up high for a bit. We drop, then we climb again.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not going to overheat overnight because of a
exactly.
pair of paper-thin waterproof trousers.
Yeah.
But maybe it'll like prevent a bit of
Take
like
the edge
fatigue
off. Definitely, yeah.
in the cold. So,
Super sensible.
but yeah, the snow and the wind. I think there is a video kicking around of is it Courtney going over the top of one of them, and it was pretty wild for a summer race where you're kind of thinking, oh, we're in the Alps and the sun it's going to be blazing sun and beautiful, and
Because it was saying there was a metre and a half of snow dumped on
Just top of it.
Mont Blanc, really, wasn't there? Over that night. So
Yeah, it was a serious night of weather, wasn't it? It really was.
And
Bad enough on the valley floor, but up there.
like you say, with the kit and everything, I've had this conversation with people in the past. It's important, like Andy said, you have the mandatory kit list, but that's almost like your bare minimum of what will keep you safe in theory. But like he said, just the knowledge of having an extra waterproof, or just you take what you think you will need as well as your mandatory kit.
Yeah.
And that's everyone, never mind the people at the front.
but then having what you want, what you know you probably will use, you look at the weather and you go, okay, so there's no point in packing it so small that you then can't get it back in and out of your pack. So basically I had the minimum kit requirement compressed into a waterproof bag that was shoved in the pack, and then the bits that I would want, trousers, extra jacket, hat, gloves,
Just ready to go.
Yeah.
No, it's good advice anyway. So that's not just.
Hey, to be fair to the organisation, they kit checked everybody.
Yeah.
Like everybody at like different checkpoints.
There was a
before
guy.
you went
There was a
over
guy in
high.
our hotel that got checked for long pants, didn't have his long pants, wouldn't let him out the checkpoint. That was his race over.
Yeah, well, that's it. Got that,
And
haven't
I
you?
was just thinking,
that's good.
well, yeah,
I'm
I
for
mean,
that.
I don't understand.
Yeah.
Even if you think you didn't, I mean, you need them in that
Yeah, you
weather.
do. Absolutely.
I just don't understand. But anyway, that's it.
Never know what's going to happen, do you?
So when you're off and you're thinking, were you relishing that night almost when it came and
Yeah,
stuff?
I mean, it's a shame there's not a video like the checkpoint after the. I mean, we should probably talk about the Gorge as well, by the way.
Yeah.
So we went to the Gorge, didn't
the
we?
Gorge
Yeah.
is absolutely mental.
Was that the highlight of the race, really? Is that just coming through those crowds at Notre Dame de la Gorge? Or?
Not just that one crowd, but like all the crowds were pretty special. But that was just
Off the scale.
For me and Ben, we jumped on a bus and then we head off, and it's like we know the race is going on, but then we got there and there's like they've laid on food and drink for us and all that, and we all got what because it was pissing down there, wasn't it? We got nice and warm, and it was almost like we forgot the race was going on. I did. I almost forgot the race was going on, and it was like, someone might come through in 20 minutes, we better get off up there. So yeah, even when we were hiking up and the rain was coming down, we were thinking, God, this is mental. No runners had been through yet. So like when the first couple went through, it all kicked off, didn't it? Really. And
music, smoke.
We lost
he
each
was
other.
about 2K away.
Yeah, I was going to say, because I know where you've climbed up from, and when you can hear the noise, what do you think do you know what to expect?
So I had I think I'd heard from a couple of runners, like especially last year, that that was all a bit too much for them.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much why they then couldn't focus on their race. Yeah. So I was mentally prepared to go in and enjoy it.
Yeah.
And just be like, whatever happens on this race, enjoy this gorge, because you might only come here once. You don't know what's going to happen. Just absolutely embrace it, love it.
Yeah.
Because it's a unique experience.
And how far in is it? It's like 30k?
35k.
Yeah, so fairly early
It's not far into your race reader either.
And it's just it's just a wall of noise and kind of everybody's so close into you, you're literally banging through people.
It's
they don't get out.
France,
they don't get out the way quick enough. So you're using your cheat sticks and just literally knocking people's arms out the way, and cameras in your face and air horns and whistles and guy with a chainsaw without a chain on. It's just absolutely just this assault of the senses of everything. It was mental.
Yeah.
I was at the bottom of that doing some photography. How long did it go on for? I mean, I was within about 100 metres of the start of the climb. How long did that go for?
Probably I honestly couldn't tell you. I genuinely couldn't tell you. It
I've
felt
got a video, I was with you for 2.5 minutes.
Yeah.
And that was only a small bit. So I was thinking, God
it must have been about 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But it's such a huge contrast, right? So you come out of that, and then you have about maybe like half a K, and then you go into their natural quiet zone. Because
So it
it's a
shuts off
nature
straight
reserve.
away. Yeah.
So then you have to put your head torch on its lowest setting, and you're not allowed to talk. Like, you're not allowed to, like,
Really?
there's no noise. There's a no noise section about
No
half a
way.
K after it. So like, yeah, you like, well, you're not allowed to use your head torch on full beam and things.
Wow,
then
that's
you go into
crazy.
this, like, it's like just such a stark difference.
Contrast.
Could
yeah.
you still,
Wow.
when you're in that quiet zone, could you still I imagine you can't.
It's just hard. It's like, it's not that far away. Like,
Don't speak to me,
And-
but all I can hear is
the deer, like, oh, for fuck's sake,
I'll
you
take-
get me again.
And to add in, the rain at that point was truly biblical, right?
Yeah.
it was coming in waves though, wasn't it? It was like
Yeah.
you'd
You
get
know that rain that's like a bucket of water?
Yeah, there's no stain dry either. Doesn't matter
Yeah.
what waterproof you've got on, you're not stain dry.
No. It was interestingly going up there. There was a few people like because it's a bit like slabby, isn't it? I guess through that bit, and there's people slipping around and stuff and things like that. I was just interested in the shoe choices. Like, how are
The grip.
people slipping around on this stuff?
Yeah, I didn't find that bad. Like, at
No,
all.
like
it's-
most people weren't, but there was definitely
Yeah.
people in the
the poles wouldn't hit on some of them.
No.
Obviously, the big
Yeah.
slabs and
Sketchy,
things
yeah.
like that.
Were you in the trail talons with
Trail flies.
trail flies? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's an interesting point, isn't it? Like, some of the shoes that people were probably wearing weren't the best choices for those. I mean, those slabs are horrendous
I
anyway.
mean, you've
though, aren't
got
they?
over that 100 mile, you've got a bit of everything once the weather's been like that, I imagine,
Yeah.
haven't you? So it's hard to get a good shoe choice, but it was interesting seeing some people slip around. I thought, well, God, they're in for a long night if they're
Oh,
slipping
yeah.
on that.
It was funny. So like, we came into like the next checkpoint, and it'd just been biblical for like ages, and I was just like, you know, when you have that moment in an ultra where you're just loving life. And you're just like, this is fucked up, but I love it. And I don't know why I love it, but I just fucking love it. And so I'm getting to this checkpoint, and I'm just like singing away on my headphones, and I'm just like I love rain. And they're just laughing their backs at us. And I turn around, and there's just about 20 people like huddled in this tent, desperately trying to finally put their waterproof trousers on, and they're kind of like shivering and all that. And I'm just like, yeah, this is amazing, isn't it? What a fucking race. This is awesome.
Tell me you're a UK fell runner without telling me.
And I literally ran out just singing my little heart out as I ran out this checkpoint. Everyone's just like
No wonder
creased
they
up
don't
laughing.
speak to you on the start line.
No, that's why I don't get invited to the party.
So, like going up De La Gorge, like I remember it was because we'd lost each other at this point for a bit, and then when I finally got where you've gone, it's like I just hiked up with Andy for a minute or two. He was telling me he needs poles. But I don't know if he was taking the piss or whatever. And it was like, and then I've piecing it together. I think he does need poles. I think he needs them at Chamonix, and then luckily, like he had the same story already.
So like it basically started 2 days ago when you took the piss, and I would never have thought of it if you hadn't posted that video in the shop. And I was creased laughing, like absolutely brilliant. So you posted this video. I don't know if people have seen it, but where like they're taking the piss, like and they're practicing with the poles, and
Going up the
like,
escalator.
Yeah.
in like the
just warming
U-Mart in
them
the
up.
middle of Chamonix.
So I literally, the first main climb out of La Zouche, I pull my pole out of the quiver, snapped.
Shit. I mean,
And I
too
walked
excited.
the time.
It's just like, I was just like, okay, it's going to be one of those races, is it? Okay. Brilliant. Put it back away. So I'm just using one. But fortunately, one of my mates in the UK, Tim, had been watching the live stream. So he'd already messaged Jess.
Oh,
and
so he'd
said-
seen you only got one pole?
Yeah, and said he'd snapped a pole. So I had a spare pole,
Yeah.
but it was the wrong size. So I had a 120 and a 125.
Shit.
So like, which doesn't sound like it makes
But
a
it's-
difference, but it's just like it
Over
does.
the course
so I'm
of
having
that,
to remember
yeah.
to like swap them over.
And it would have been annoying for 20 hours.
So then I saw your little face pop up in the rain, and I'm like, those fuckers, I'm gonna have this. I was like, you take the piss out of me, then all right, I'm gonna take them poles that you offered us. Thanks very much.
So I'm gonna take over now because I get this message off Jess, your wife, and she's like, I know you're not gonna believe when I say this, but can Andy borrow your poles? She snapped on. I was like, she's taking this. Like, honestly, I was laughing. I thought, actually, maybe she's fucking being serious. So I messaged her back saying, yeah, of course. I said, but the only problem is, I'm at Notre Dame de la Gorge. I'm not going to get back to Chamonix till midnight. And she was like, oh, well, maybe it could work because I'm going over to Courmayeur to support. I thought, right, perfect. So we got back, didn't we, from the bus?
They did go a little bit earlier, didn't we?
Yeah, thankfully. So I think we probably arrived back in Chamonix about 11:30. And then we went back to my apartment at Big Mountain Brewery. Got the poles. Thankfully, I'd left them out ready as well. And they were just ready to go. So I just grabbed them from the van. And
But we just started walking. We were knackered.
Yeah.
So we're walking, and we weren't sure where to meet the bus. So
Yeah.
you were trying to find where to meet the
Well,
bus. And then it was like,
But then, meantime, Jess has been forced to get the
Yes.
earlier
That's
bus
right,
to
yeah.
make sure
So
that
we
she
weren't
was there.
meeting Jess
So
by
it's-
now. We're
The
meeting.
buses to Cormayer were a shit show.
Yeah.
nightmare.
Like-
So we'd missed Jess, but she put us in touch with a
Matt
friend of yours.
Cade.
Yeah,
Yeah,
who
yeah.
were going over to support, and they were waiting for the bus to come here. And I didn't know that they were just about to get on the
Yeah,
bus,
yeah.
but we thought we'd better
We just jogged
pick it
down,
up here.
mainly because it was raining. Then we realised there's all the buses. So we literally,
Turned
there
to
must
sprint.
have been about 2 or 3 people ready to get on the bus.
Yeah.
Give a big hug and give her the things. It was like, and then as we were walking off, it was like a relief. It was like, yeah, fucking, at least he's going to have some poles, hopefully. I just remember saying to him, can you imagine if Andy just had us off it?
We had some more, I'll get them fuckers.
Oh, that would have been amazing. I mean, I wish I'd.
I know. And it's like, there's not very, like, I wouldn't put it past him, because he was in good spirits considering he's fucked the pole. It was just,
So did you get them in Cormayer?
Yeah.
Perfect. I mean, I love it because the next day, Andy Jackson, who was shooting for Innovate, he got a great picture of you, and it was actually you pulling the poles out of the pack, but he didn't know the story.
Yeah.
And I told him, and I'll show you the shot, but I just thought, what an amazing 360 story that is, like, to come full circle.
I think it
was
starts from the cheat stick conversation after
Yeah,
the Bob
yeah.
Graham as well. Like, it's like
and he's just gone round. It's just been brilliant to like finally connect that. It made me laugh. But we
Ben's
did.
definitely sold on him now, anyway.
Oh yeah, I
It's
mean,
all over him.
honestly, I am genuinely a big fan of poles, but that is in
I know,
isolation that Bob
It
gave me.
was
That's
fun.
my view on that. But this, I mean, is there anybody who doesn't use poles for UTMB? Like, that is a genuine question. Like, I don't think there is there?
I don't see
I've never seen
anyone
anybody. You just wouldn't
plenty
not
of
use
people in
them, would you?
like some of the top
Yeah.
runners in CCC.
Yeah,
weren't.
yeah.
Would they not?
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
There was a few people jogging
Yeah.
up that gorge with no poles and stuff, but
I mean, it might be
I
that
know
they
it's
just
early
weren't
on
using it
stuff,
for that
but-
section, but
no, that's what I mean.
I think- Is it?
Especially like when I was at Valacine, all the
Yeah.
top ones that went through, they all had poles, and a lot of them had the poles coming down the switchbacks by then.
Is it on the mandatory course? No,
No.
but I suppose it's almost become a mandatory piece, hasn't it, for
Yeah.
this? Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
I think just with them long climbs.
Yeah, you
it's
need
like,
it.
you know, it's built
Yeah,
for them.
yeah.
Like,
It
this
is,
type of race is
absolutely.
absolutely built.
You just wouldn't not use them, would you? You know what I mean? You definitely use them.
So
but-
when you picked up the poles, did you did you know where they'd come from? Did you have
Yeah,
that story?
yeah.
that must have given you a real laugh, was it? Yeah,
Oh,
it's great.
I mean, I didn't know the whole story at that point, but it was. She was like, "How many Ben's poles do you want?" I was like, "I'm taking both. Fuckers." I was like, "If I'm going to snap another pole, I'm not snapping one of my own."
brilliant. But we only just made the bus, didn't we?
Yeah, it was
Literally,
just
they were
such
getting on as we handed it over. It just couldn't. It was like the perfect story. If you were to like write a film script, that was it. And
I went to the hotel. I was soaking, and even before I had a shower, I was like logging on just to check where you were if you hadn't made Cormayer and stuff. And I figured out, oh, he's definitely gonna get them.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
I couldn't put in my head. I didn't know how long those poles had to get there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
only
yeah,
half an hour through the tunnel.
Yeah,
so
exactly. And
yeah.
it was like, oh, actually, I think they'll be all right. I went to bed buzzing off just that little story. Never mind.
Oh, it was brilliant. Yeah,
everything else.
And Ben sent all of us a video just about how excited that his poles were doing the UTMB.
it was great, mate. Honestly, yeah. I just love the full 360 like story. I thought it was brilliant. So yeah, I'm glad they got to you because
Yeah.
that made it even better. So yeah.
And how, like from the point basically where we saw you going through to Cormayer, how was that section for you? How were you feeling? Because like you say, you do go through a quiet zone. I know you go a bit higher and stuff. So was that the first point you thought, I'm in the race now, or?
Yeah, and just kind of like started getting that, as I say, that buzz of
Yeah.
like my legs weren't feeling great at the start, but
Mm.
you know, reminding yourself that you don't need to feel good to
Yeah.
be moving well. And I knew what average pace I wanted to do over the whole race, and I was still, obviously that's going to be quicker at the start and slower at the end. So, you know, I was sitting nicely with the plan. I was only about 10 minutes down at the first checkpoint, but I was about bang on at Cormayer about where I wanted to be.
Yeah. Food going down well and that, or gels and stuff.
So yeah, like, yes, but then later on in the race that kind of went out the window a little bit. But yeah, like at the start it was all 100,
Felt all
100,
good.
100 grams an hour. It was just kind of like carb and just kind of ticking away. But the night did go on forever.
Did it?
Yeah, but I tell you what, the course itself was a lot nicer than what I thought it was going to be. Like I kind of like I came to UTMB because everybody's done like a lot of people have done UTMB, and kind of like they say that it's one you need to tick off your bucket list and all of that. So,
but sometimes you assume it's all manicured trails.
Yeah, like the videos you see is quite a lot of manicured trail and things, but it actually had like like bits of technical rocky sections where I could made up a lot of time. Like people like dilly dallying around and I just get the fuck out of
Yeah.
Were you running with anybody at any point, or were you just doing your own race?
No, just kind of like I tell you what though, it was really nice. Like I know that like sometimes people talk about when it's busy and you can't get past people, but that atmosphere at the front of the race was brilliant. Like, so if I heard somebody coming up behind, I'd say, just give us a shout when anyone is out the way.
Yeah.
And like, they'd just kind of go, no, all right, yeah. And then like, but exactly the same. If you approach somebody, they just kind of like
move to the side.
Just tuck in and let you stray past.
Oh,
like,
that's nice respect then, isn't it?
Yeah, and just be like, ale, or whatever, like as you go past and shout the same for everybody else. And it was really nice.
You've got a real, and especially at that point, because you're all moving well, aren't you still? And there's like 50, 100 of you guys and girls at the front that are all, you all know what you're doing, so you all know it's all like flowing, I guess.
Yeah.
I imagine that's what it's like. I think, like you say, there will be people towards the back of the race that maybe are stuck in a queue and a long line and stuff, and it is a different experience. But yeah, again, from your race point, I bet you were probably relieved. You're just having fun at that point.
Just really nice trail and mixed as well. Like, some grassy, muddy sections, especially with the weather we had. And
plus with the rain and the darkness and it's hoods up and stuff, you probably don't know who half the people are and stuff.
No,
you're just kind of
like looking for names or like numbers on there.
Yeah, because we were finding it hard to see who it was. It's like when you passed, it's just I caught the GB thing, looked up and it was your face like this coming up. But
it does happen so quickly, doesn't it?
I missed loads of people I was hoping to say hello to, even up there, to be honest. So when you get to Courmayeur, because I always like watching that part, like as a fan, I always like watching how everyone goes in and treats the aid station there. So, was it busy there? Was it?
So the other thing about my Courmayeur is I fucked the descent up.
Oh, okay.
So I lost the course margins, ended up off to the side, and I was like, shit. So I just used my GPS. I didn't go back to the course. I just kind of went down this other trail
and
met
it further on.
So as soon as I went in the checkpoint, I was like, look, I've been off course. This is what I've done.
Yeah.
I just want to be straight up. If you're going to DQ, it's fucking DQ. It's like, I'm not going to go and slog myself another 80k.
Yeah.
And he was like, right, we'll make a note. And I was like, look, if you're going to give us a time penalty, I want to know now as well. Just freaking tell us. Like, I lost places.
They did give you a time penalty. It was 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Yeah, because I saw it on your profile. It popped up. They actually
I imagine I might be wrong, but like if they'll have a look, and because like you say, they'll know that you've lost a few places coming down, won't they? But they have to give you a time penalty.
So he said to us, we've talked to local runners. They say it's about 10 minutes quicker to come down the ski pistes.
Yeah.
So we're going to half it because you were so honest. So that's why you're going to get a 5 minute penalty. Do you accept it? I was like, just.
So at least you knew at that point.
Yeah,
well.
Exactly. What I said to Jess, I was like, what I didn't want to do was continue. And then get DQ'd.
And it's like you're unknown.
Or like slog my tits off going down the last descent to get a 10-minute time penalty, and I might as well have just enjoyed the experience.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, true.
So then I entered Courmayeur. So that drama went on as soon as I entered, and Jess was like, what's going on? So I explained it to her, and then did a shoe change, and just kind of got a dry top on, and not a dry top, dry waterproof.
How far away into the race at Courmayeur?
83.
Halfway?
Just before.
About that.
Do you
I think there's 98 left.
Feel pretty fresh coming out of there, like with all that change, because that it does wonders, doesn't it? Just putting fresh
I'd got my arm warmers out and put them on instead, and like actually took a waterproof off so I could dry out because it stopped raining at that point, and I felt kind of just ready to go for the next day, but kind of knew something was wrong with my ankle at that point. And
is that when you first started feeling it?
I knew it was happening, but that's where it started to kind of, where it's not injured, but it's just stiffening up a bit. And just kind of like...
Especially the kind of runner you are. I imagine you relish the downhills and things like this, and it's a lot of the time, even if you've picked up a little ankle niggle or injury, you can still run how you would normally run, and it's only maybe when you're standing at Courmayeur at a checkpoint or then go to hike out a little bit or something, is that when you're becoming just aware of it?
Yeah.
Was it mobility more than just like a soreness?
Yeah, and it was just starting that, the demon of what are you about to do to yourself starts creeping in, and then it's still dark and all that other stuff. And because I was losing a little bit of time on the climbs, but gaining a lot on the descents, I kind of like lost a bit of that, but I was still enjoying my experience for the most part. I kind of like ended up mixing up my water a bit and not drinking probably quite enough. I didn't drink both bottles by the top of the first summit, and I didn't realise there wasn't another water top up for like whatever 16k or something.
Yeah.
So I'd refilled one, so I left with both, but I probably should have drank both.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Then filled up both,
filled up.
and then gone, and so I kind of messed up a bit there, and that's when you start missing little things. And then
all adds up, doesn't it? To running, there's a lot to consider.
Yeah, I think I probably overdid the caffeine as well.
Yeah.
Overnight, because I was like feeling quite sluggish at the start. Like I was like popping caffeine gum like there was no tomorrow, and just kind of like
hyper.
Like 20 minutes. No, I get rid of that bit. Okay,
Yeah,
I'll have 20 minutes off, and then bang another bit in. And I just think that maybe that didn't help the stomach as well. So
And you have a bit of that once you've. I guess early, like that kind of middle part, I don't like that part that's like 3 till 4 or 5, just before the sun's coming up. I feel if I've had caffeine, sometimes it's like that. It's like that adenosine dump. You're almost like you've gone from feeling good to almost like fighting it. I'm usually waiting for the sun to come up, and I feel great again. But I can imagine if you've already done 80k plus, it's like, do I do another caffeine, or is that just gonna push it over the edge even more? It's like, what do you do there? But I guess, like, from your point of view, you felt well fueled then?
Yeah, like I felt like all right.
Yeah.
Like, not too bad, and obviously like the tiredness is coming in and things like that. But as the sun was coming up, I mean, didn't get the beautiful sunrise I kind of hoped for, because it was just still so cloudy and
it's
like,
shame, isn't it? Yeah.
But at least it was light and get the head torch off, and I was moving all right. And
did you feel a bit more re-energized when it did come light as well? Was it like almost like the light switch coming on, or was there no change? Because sometimes it just trick your body into like waking up a little bit, doesn't it?
It does sometimes, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I think that because of how the crude checkpoints pan out in terms of the timing, then maybe not quite as much as sometimes I get that feeling. Like I think that if I'd had that change of clothes and it was getting light and
it was nice warm sunrise,
but because I'd already had the change of clothes, and then it felt like quite far between some checkpoints, then probably not quite. It just kind of, the race was quite quiet at that point as well, like because obviously it's 6 in the morning, and there's nobody out cheering you at that point, and it's just you on this mountainside, which is nice in some ways, but when you need that adrenaline buzz and to get going again, then it was a bit lacking, and there was just quite big gaps. I was not really around anybody. There wasn't really anybody to chase or and things, so it's kind of.
Were you looking at your time then? Are you still kind of thinking, am I on plan, or are you just going with the flow a bit more at this point?
Yeah, I guess that's. I was still checking where I was sitting and things like that, but I think that I kind of, with not knowing the course, and the downside of that is when you are in a hole and struggling, you don't know where the freaking edge of the hole is.
Yeah.
So you're kind of just looking up into blankness, where like something like the Bob Graham that I know so well.
Yeah.
If I'm in a hole, I know exactly where I'm going, and I know exactly how long until I'm getting out the hole, until I can get a slap in the face off the wife and have a kick up the arse. but if you don't know, then it's really quite difficult, and I think that I probably didn't deal with that quite as well as well as I could have.
It's all like you said though. It's all those little things adding up, isn't it? Some of marginal gains, isn't it? If there's lots of little things just starting to like go wrong or hard to deal with, it's almost magnified, isn't it?
Just like one of those days where you just feel like it isn't your day as well.
Yeah.
And I think I probably had a little bit of that. And
was it like, I only saw a couple of checkpoints, but it looked like a lot of the villages were, once the sun had come up and everyone was up, it was a bit more of assault on the senses again. Were they, like, again, were they all good experiences, or by then did you want it to be a bit calmer? And...
No, it was all great, and like everybody on the trail, because obviously the tour of Mont Blanc is its own thing, so there's loads of people on the trail, and everyone's like, you know, cheering and things like that, and all of the, absolutely though, massive shout out to all the people who volunteered for this race as well. Like there was a guy on the top of that pass at the middle of the night in that snowstorm, scanning people's numbers. Like
tough gig.
That guy doesn't get enough credit. Where's his shot on the UTMB?
Gonna show up and get some players
Instagram channel. Like that guy needs a.
You know you've must love it. Yeah, you must love it doing that.
Giving me a great content idea for next year now. The unsung heroes of UTMB, but that's true, isn't it?
It's true.
Yeah.
I was saying the same to these guys. We were travelling around in the car, and when you went to the villages and stuff, even like 3-4 in the morning, there were restaurants open, and they were fine for you to use the facilities and serving teas and coffees through the night. It was just really good.
Everybody buys into it, don't they?
Yeah, it was really good.
And just going back to, you said Jess had like a few problems like getting around. The bus to Courmayeur, for example, was a shit show.
So, like,
is it hard for her to get around?
It's quite frustrating, really. Like, so they send you out this whole email saying that if you don't have a UTMB index of whatever, then you don't get a car pass.
Yeah.
And so then you have to use the bus. And then you look around on the buses and you're like, nobody else around my numbers crew is on this bus.
Okay.
So is everybody else just driving around?
Yeah.
And it kind of limited what they could carry and what they can, you know, carry, because it's down to a backpack, you know, and a hold all between them, and
you're in less control there and stuff, aren't you?
So then even when I did drop out at Chamonix, like 3 buses, it took us 2 hours to get home across like 3 buses, and
that's the organisational buses.
So it's like. So it was a bit frustrating. So the one to Contaminate apparently was amazing. Up there and back, perfect.
Yeah.
And then the rest
after that,
was just a shit show. Yeah.
Gosh, it must have been stressful for her as well, though. Because she's like not wanting to miss you and trying to get round and.
Yeah, between the 3 of them, they are legends. But and it's like that disappointment she said to us this morning. She was like, you know, it's that thing. It's like. Fuck it, I'll go for it. It's like porn without the jizz shot, isn't it? Like when you didn't finish, like you know, you did everything that you could for it, but you didn't get the fucking payoff, like of seeing us finish and getting the job done.
I don't know what that feels like.
Sorry, Andy, you're gonna have to explain that to but there's a reason this podcast is called what it is.
It's just like. Yeah, so bless them, like they did it all, and like.
We'll see that on Johnny's flags up the Flèche.
I was going to say, if nobody's noticed, you guys are in new RUNcensored t-shirts which have phrases on the back of them. I think we've got a new one, right?
Yeah,
it's like a porno. It's like a porno without a jizz shot, right?
It's the new DNF.
Well, also Andy's on his 2nd appearance, so when it comes for his 3rd, that can be his gift.
That's my RUNcensored t-shirt.
He can have that on the back of his shirt. I think, and the picture of me and Gary.
As long as you put an innovate underneath it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, we'll put it on for you, mate.
I would wear that everywhere.
We can sort that for you. Yeah, it's got to be better than that tagline they've already got. Was it like it's like a condom advert, isn't it? It'd probably go quite
natural.
Well. Yeah, natural. Yeah, feel natural. Yeah.
Natural, light and fast.
Well, we're all right for the YouTube thumbnail anyway, aren't we?
Where like spoiler alert, like you've kind of alluded to, you dropped out at Chamonix, wasn't it?
Which is the new Courmayeur by the looks of this.
Yeah.
Courmayeur was so last year. Chamonix, that's the new place to DNF.
That's true though, isn't it? It used to be there. Yeah. But like at what point are you starting? Was it frustration about the ankle, or was it almost like accepting defeat, or were you trying to fight the feeling of almost the thought of, oh, should I just push on through? But like when it's an ankle like that, it's hard to kind of, is it hard to come to terms with that your race might be ended by something like that? What's the thought process? Because I know, like knowing as much about you, you wouldn't just pull out, if it just wasn't your day. I don't think anyway. But when it's something like that, it's almost forcing it upon you. and it is the right decision. How do you go with that feeling when it's a big race like that?
So it's not the pain, like like with the Bob Graham, like I knew that the pain was just like a flesh wound, and that I know, even if it takes 2 or 3 weeks, I know what the recovery is off that.
Exactly.
With something that's internal, and like you know yourself that when you run enough, you know your body really well, right?
Yeah.
And for me, it's always been about being in the mountains and running and that side of myself. So for me, it was quite an easy question because I didn't want to.
Yeah.
You know, I've got friends who force through finishes who still battle with that injury 2 years down the line, and I did not want that to be my story.
No.
And it's not worth it for a shit finish as Gillet.
Yeah.
No.
Like.
You worry about the long-term impact, quite rightly so as well, don't you? Because you're not going to be able to run, are you, off the back of that for a long time.
So I think I could have finished. I just didn't want to.
It's just not worth it, is it? No, you've got to weigh that up, though, haven't
Basically,
you?
yeah.
Is the first feeling relief when you can call it a day at Champlain-Lac, and then you get frustration, or are you just quite happy with the fact and then just crack on to being frustrated about the buses?
There's obviously like a level of disappointment and frustration that your day's over. Even when it's the right answer, it can feel quite deflating. But it's always that I like before I DNF, I always like to ask myself like that question of what's tomorrow's Andy gonna think of this decision. And
I remember we spoke about that briefly on the last time, and it is just the right decision, isn't it? And like you say, it's like you don't want your whole, not even the next few months to be affected, never mind next year's races or something.
Yeah.
Not the position where you're at. And did the whole experience give you like a good insight? Would you think you'll have a crack again? Is that too early? Or
I don't know, there's so many amazing races out there that like in many ways I got the experience I wanted out of UTMB.
Yeah.
Just without the jizz.
Exactly.
I definitely need to tick that box on it. Explicit material.
It's been a long week.
So I don't know. Like I think it's probably too early. I think I'll probably have to find a new support crew if I came back. So if you're free,
yeah, mate, we're there.
Say we'll just have polls at everyone.
Sign us up, Andy. We're there.
That'd be a brilliant podcast, wouldn't it? The RUNcensored crew support Andy Berry.
Yeah, 100%. We'd be well up for that. Yeah.
I'm glad that
like
you probably get the table next to Kev's. You know, like apparently he pretty much got his Courtney's husband. Apparently he pretty much got his reserve table.
Did it?
Right at the fucking front now.
I bet. Yeah.
Getting back, because it sounds like it was a bit of a journey just to get back to where you needed to be. Was it in that time where you kind of did you feel almost like you'd push yourself in the right amount and stuff like this? Were you quite confident with the performance? Because it sounds like apart from a few things that didn't go your way, you'd had everything set, to be honest, and you might have been able to crack on and have the time that you wanted. That's the only thing that might have been missing. Were you quite happy with thinking, actually, I had a good build up and I went into the race, didn't really do a lot wrong?
Yeah, like in terms of the race itself, like I always like to think of it as, did I problem solve the best I could in the moment with the
Definitely
fitness,
did that, mate.
the
Sending us to
But so yeah, like I think there's would I do anything differently? I guess is always the question. And
hindsight's a wonderful thing as well, isn't it?
And maybe a couple of bits are probably not 100% clear in my head what they are, but I definitely feel like there's some tweaks that I would make, probably ignoring the fact that you need a bus pass and just getting them to take a car would be
That's it.
Do you feel like it's one of those races anyway that you probably need to do a few times to get it right? Like it's probably rare for most people just to come and do it, smash it in one go, isn't it? Because you've got to get to know the course, how it works, and like even the logistics of getting round for Jess on the support and things.
Yeah.
So is it like, do you see it as a project long term, so that in a couple of years time, like do you see I might come
I'll
back next year.
never
and
close
build
the
up.
door on it.
No,
Like,
no.
It was an awesome experience.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
like,
But it's not going to be
and
a
I guess it's-
5-year obsession of yours.
It's not going to be, yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. I might come back.
Yeah.
But then
yeah.
again, I might not.
Yeah. I see. Yeah. You've had it.
But
you've
I
had
had an awesome
yeah.
experience this
Yeah,
year,
yeah.
so I don't feel I need to come back.
Yeah.
If I come back, it's because I want to come back
Yeah.
to do a full lap.
Yeah.
And,
Got you.
and I think that
And by the time you get that, you feel like you want to do it, it might have changed again. It might be, you might just be completely like, nah, it's not for me. And like you say, like the challenges, you have so many diverse challenges. I'm like, from a selfish point of view, I don't want you to sink 5 years into a UTMB project. I want to see you off doing other stuff.
Yeah. There's a lot to do, isn't there?
Yeah. So I agree with you, mate. To be honest.
Yeah, I think 200 miles. That's where they're at. I've got to go play on the 200
That's
miler.
it,
I think
yeah.
it's got to be next year. Next year's got to be the year of the 200
It's
miler.
got to be,
I
mate.
think,
And it's got to be. Yeah. Get two laps in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
When you're so when you're finished and everything, or do you do the usual thing of looking back at how the race went, or do you write that off and crack on and think I'm going to go to the next thing?
like
or...
straight away.
Yeah.
No, I think I just spent like kind of yesterday just absorbing it. You know,
Yeah.
like it was an assault. Like it's the best way of describing it is just an assault on the senses of like
Yeah.
the whole town just bearing down.
It's a cauldron of emotion, isn't it? You're in it, and it is right. It's like being in Times Square, isn't it? Not knowing
And
where
as
to look.
a runner, what are some of the best bits that maybe from the supporters? Because we know the Gorge and other bits. What are some of the best bits that you've thought that almost surprised you? Like a bit like you touched on, a bit of the technicality, or just like you say, we've seen the odd random guy at the top of a mountain. What is there any other bits that like you thought, oh, this is amazing, kind of thing?
Definitely those high passes.
Yeah.
It's almost a shame they're in the night.
Yeah.
Because I bet that they are like just amazing places to be.
Yeah.
I think like one of the things I would love to just come and do it over like 5 days or whatever, staying in the huts, and I think that would be a really cool experience.
That would be nice.
To kind of slow it down and
and actually enjoy it. Yeah.
And maybe that would be part of it. Like if I did it again, I'd want to come and do it over 5 days or something and experience it, and then come and run really fast.
Yeah. And because there is amazing locations, isn't there? And I sometimes think like when the people that are like in the second half of that race, if they are in an absolute hole, are they able to take any of that in or anything? But like you say, just a little bit of a holiday might be a nice way to satisfy that for now. And Jess, it's interesting you say, how was she about it, or did she find it, apart from the buses thing, was she enjoying it, or was it all a bit stressful and on that kind of view? Because I've been around some of the checkpoints and they've all got different accesses. You can only go in at certain times. That bit seems still to me like
especially
a
with this
stressful
race
situation.
as well. Yeah.
And even we've got friends who are photographers. They don't really know, and they're getting told off because they're in the wrong place, and it's like everyone's got different levels of access.
It's a
is it
minefield,
what it
isn't
looks like from the outside? Is it a stressful bit? And I
there
know
for
you
me.
weren't there.
She would never choose to put herself in that situation.
Okay,
Like she did it because she knows that I'll race better when she's there. It. But yeah, it's a stressful, horrible thing that takes a hell of a lot out of her.
Yeah.
And you know that is. I'm lucky to have that, you know, like I know we all have people who support us, but you know, like same as all of us, I'm just exceptionally grateful to mine for putting themselves through it, because it's its own type of ultra event. You know, like when I've supported other people, it's that thing, isn't it? Because you've got all of the stress and none of the control, because you don't know what's actually happening in that moment out on the course wherever I am. You get these punctuated moments of extreme stress and almost kind of, you've got to keep it calm, but panicked calm of like, what can I do in the next, 120 seconds to try and make sure your next 6.5 hours is a bit better than if I hadn't done that one thing or said that one thing or not said that one thing or remembered to tell you this or whatever. And
I think it's intensified at this particular event, because I've worked at different events before, and working with UTMB, it's bloody hard work. And the UTMB race at the UTMB World Finals is even more strict than, say, TDS, for example. Like you said, the levels of access for media, for athletes, for supporters. So I think that is something to consider for anybody who's wanting to come out and either support and crew or do the event. Is like just everything is just intensified on another level, isn't it? So I bet she felt like she's really lived through it, hasn't she? Yeah, yeah, definitely. So a few days rest now will be.
One thing I'm surprised they didn't really have like food trucks and that at the checkpoints for like crews.
Yeah.
Like for somebody like UTMB who just fucking love money.
Yeah.
Like why haven't they got like food stalls out to sell stuff? Like people would pay a fortune. There was a guy up at Chamonix in his bakery who wasn't accepting card payments under €30. So they went in for 3 coffees that was going to cost like €9 or something. And she was like, I want to use cards, like €30 minimum. And she was like, so like Kate was like, so like one of the other supporters, she was like, I thought about paying like €30 for 3 coffees. And she was like, fuck it, I'll have 3 coffees and as many croissants as it takes to get to €30. So she walked out with 9 croissants and 3 coffees. But apparently there was like loads of people walking around with like massive bags of croissants because this fucker's like... That is a really great idea. I was like, yeah, like, I'm not coming to UTMB next year to race. I'm gonna rent a coffee truck.
That's why
I'm gonna drive out here and make a year's worth of money.
That's why you pulled out, really, there, isn't it? You saw the 9 croissants and all sorts of bits.
Similarly, I've got a friend Darren who did TDS, and we were crewing him earlier in the week, and he said, I can't remember exactly where it was on the route, but there was an old French lady who set a table up at one of the, not a checkpoint, but outside a house, and she was selling cans of pop for €5 each, cash only. He said she made a fortune. Like, he bought 4 off her. He said she just made her a year, and that's all she does. And she said he's there every year. So yeah.
On the other side, it's like we were at Valacine yesterday. There was only a couple of places to get food. One is the nice little cafe at the bottom, isn't there? There's a little bakery that we walked through, and there's a massive queue. And it was only, I'd say, between 12 and half 12, and there was no bread left. And it's like, don't get me wrong, I know that came out, but they were just like, there was nothing else. There was a few bags of crisps. You'd even think they'd just stock up on Mars bars that one day of the year.
Yeah.
And so we walked out.
Go down Costco or whatever.
Exactly. It was just insane. Like, everyone's going, is there any bread? Like, no, if you need. It was like, just that attitude of, no, we're just doing our normal day. If it's not there, we don't want any. You can just go kind of thing.
Apparently, it was absolutely hoofing down of like when they were waiting for the bus to maybe up to like towards Chamonix, and it's absolutely hoofing down. And like there's bus drivers there, and the UTMB people are like, you need to let people on the bus. And she's like, no.
Yeah.
I don't start work till 1:15.
Let people even sit on the just carry on smoking. It's like it's the same with the event village as well. It has to be packed away and down because they've got the market on the Saturday, and
literally
there is no wavering with that, is there?
Friday, and it's just
it's not like this one weekend a year. Well, we just won't do the market. It's like we're doing the fucking market. End off. So get all that packed away. It's true, isn't it? Yeah.
It's little things like that. You just think that, it's.
There's no bending the rules there. So how much are you going to charge for ice pops next year then? You're going to bring a load out?
If
it's hot.
I reckon €10.
I reckon so, yeah.
Yeah, not
cash as well.
Not to runners and supporters though. Maybe
just stand there with one of them like card machines.
Yeah, somewhat machine, yeah.
Maybe just bus drivers and UTMB staff.
No, that's €20. So you work for
yeah, that's it. Tax on it, yeah. Minimum €30.
Yeah, it's cash only.
Classic.
Oh, massive shout out to Josh Wade though.
Yeah, right, I'm just going to come on. I'm just going to come on to that because we really need to just talk about the winners. And Josh Wade. We'll do the winners first because Tom Evans has obviously won. British runner. I mean, that's amazing for that to happen to see. So buzzing about that. And Ruth Croft, what an amazing race as well. Looked like Courtney had a few issues in the race, but did finished in 10th in the end. I know she was an overwhelming favourite, but yeah, amazing to see both Ruth and Tom do so well, especially Tom because he's British. But let's have a shout out to Josh Wade. I'm sorry to Tom just to switch straight to Josh Wade.
Tom's run was awesome.
Yeah.
But he loses points for that fucking shoe drink.
Yeah, that's true actually. He should have got dock points. He should have come up on his profile.
Time penalty for that.
Yeah, 10 minutes. Yeah.
I've looked back since, and I even think he bottles it. I think he just dribbles it over his chin.
Well, that's all for fucking Red Bull, isn't it?
It must be.
It's fucking.
I don't like Red Bull anyway, really, but never mind. Yeah.
I mean, it's a stupid.
It's E. coli, isn't it?
Anyway, I don't want to take away from the run because I was.
Yeah, it was an amazing
athletic
performance. And absolutely brilliant.
And when you come through Valacine and stuff, it's good to see like up close someone running well and strong through those later stages. So yeah, hats off to him.
And especially like after years of not nailing
exactly,
it as well.
That's true.
Keep coming back.
His
and
stories.
He's worked on it.
Yeah.
And I know he's worked with Paul Booth at the University of Leeds on his nutrition and everything.
That's
and
right. Yeah.
He's obviously put the graft in,
Yeah.
and he's got what he.
Hats off to him. Yeah.
Absolutely awesome performance.
He's thrown everything at it, hasn't he?
Just stop with.
Anyway,
the
back to
injury.
Josh. It's funny at Valacine because he's having a little lactate test and everything. The little ASIC sports scientist guy just running off like that. It was literally like Rocky and Dolph Lundgren
Brilliant.
Yeah. Anyway,
but Josh Wade.
only because we probably
come
know
on.
Josh a bit better, I guess.
I mean,
the scene and stuff. So.
I've always felt like Josh had a top 10 in him and potentially podium. I didn't think it'd come so quickly as this. I think obviously.
I think you'll find I called Josh in that podcast.
You did.
One of many picks
you did,
we had.
You mentioned it. Was that after you watched that documentary we made on him last year?
Yeah, well, we were
thought we were
thinking,
gonna
we were
get top
trying
10
to look
last
at
year.
projections. We were like, why not Josh? Because we were
Yeah.
trying to think of someone. And so yeah, hats off to him
Yeah.
for doing so well, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
And just doing it with a smile, that big
All the way.
smile. Like,
Just
I seen the
loving
video of him coming through Champagne, I was just like,
Yeah,
oh
he was
mate,
loving
like,
it, wasn't he?
loving life. It just makes my heart glow. Watching
It really is. And I know, like, Tom will get all the plaudits for his run and obviously winning it, but I think there's a split sort of. I don't know whether a lot of people take to Tom, as a personality. He can come across a little bit arrogant, and it's not to do with his achievements or anything, but I don't know if he's as likeable as other runners in the race. But Josh is. I mean, he's just a natural, like, personality.
Agent should be kicking down the North Face
Oh
door
my
saying,
God,
right,
yeah.
time for a new contract, boys.
Absolutely.
Even just the
Yeah.
fact of, because when he's running in third, I'm in Valacine watching the big screen, and it's like, because he's getting more coverage there, and you could see that they were like almost reading it off the page to a certain degree, but it was almost great to hear, because then they were pulling the results like from UTS and stuff like this, and you could feel the crowd talking. I could hear them talking about this. You just read anything, and there was like a buzz about this. Is like this new guy's doing so well, and there was a genuine buzz in Valacine about him doing so well, because he was on the screen for so long, because we know him, don't we? Kind of thing. As in, we know potential wise. Same as like if Andy was up there, it'd be. You kind of know there's potential there, so for the whole world to see it now.
Yeah.
It's like you said, it's just
I
like.
think that you go for a run with Josh and you come back like, and Jess will be like, you never come back smiling as much as when you've been out for a run with that guy. Like you just get this energy off him, and I think that does come across.
Yeah.
Like even when you see him like finish, or you see him going through a checkpoint,
And,
like,
even Darren, who was
vibe,
out
wasn't
there
it?
for a bit, wasn't he? He was saying to us like he'd gone for a few runs with him in teams, and Darren will openly say when he's not the same level as Josh, and he said to me that he was on a run with him. He was going down the hill, and Josh was almost like waiting for him. But it's not like he would bugger off straight away. It was he was just having fun on the trail, and it was only that Darren basically told him to run off down the mountain.
He's just a genuine
must love it,
nice
doesn't he?
guy,
Like-
and he just
like-
loves the sport. He loves running. That's all he loves. It's his life, isn't it?
Yeah.
And to see him cross that finish line yesterday, like I got a bit emotional when I watched it on there, because we were up at Flagey.
Yeah.
I watched it and I was like, yeah. And I just thought, what a moment for him, and it's life changing, and I'm glad, because it couldn't have happened to a nicer guy.
It reminds me a bit of like Zach Miller, like
Yeah.
that kind of,
Yeah.
like just a genuine guy who just
absolutely.
loves doing it, and
It's really good and great for British running as well.
Yeah.
So it's just got to give us all hope, hasn't it, that we're going to get more people up there, and itself as well, Andy. Like, you're a similar type person to Josh. I'd love to see you like have the same journey, and that's why I asked you before. Like, is it a long-term goal? I know he's just thrown everything at UTMB, and that's his obsession, and he would say it's an obsession. So that's why I was interested to know. But obviously, like, when you see people like Josh and yourself winning races or podiuming, it's an amazing feeling for everybody watching, because when we know you and we know like your personality and we love like who you are, it's a nice feeling for everybody involved, isn't it? So
it's almost like you kind of like share it a little.
yeah,
like
you
a
do
tiny
share
little
it. You
sliver,
do
like,
you
you know,
genuinely
like,
share
kinda
it.
like-
Yeah, genuinely. And like I mentioned about the documentary of Josh, we filmed it last year, because I'd said to North Face 4 years ago, look, you've got this athlete Josh Wade. This is like to North Face Europe. We want to make a documentary on him, because I think he's going to get top 10. And it was almost falling on deaf ears, but the UK team were really behind it, and I was really behind it at Sportsshoes. So we we used all the marketing budget pretty much to make this film last year, and he came 11th, so he just missed out on the top 10. But we all believed he could do it, and then to do this now on the next level. But all that way through, I never really felt like the North Face Global had given him much of a chance. I even think, it might be controversial, but I even think they probably thought John Alban was going to be the man. Well, they would have done, wouldn't they? Yeah. So I think the content team was probably following him around. And when we saw him at Flagey yesterday, Tom Evans must have had 50 people around him, media crews, film crews. Ben, who was running and came second, he had the similar amount of people. So I ran down and I ran up 5 minutes with Josh. He was on his own. And we just had a normal chat, like we're out for a run. And he's having crack and he's like, I thought that was Carol Morgan. That's what he actually said. And it was this random French woman. So we had a laugh about that he'd like waved at this person and it wasn't Carol Morgan. It was just some random person. And we were just bouncing off each other. Yeah, it was in that for me just showed like the difference between somebody who's just coming in under the radar compared to Tom.
Sometimes I hope that never changes for him.
Yeah, exactly.
And I know it will if he chooses to kind of go on that road, but...
And I'm sure you'll agree, I don't feel like Josh will ever change. No. Like, he might get the big contract now and he deserves it and he should. And he might now be on the same playing field as people like Tom Evans, but he'll still be that same Josh.
If I were you guys, though, I'd be relaunching that video of him from last year in the next week or so.
100%. Well, UTMB even
giving
mentioned
it a nice
it on
new
the
shiny
commentary.
start with that finish line shoot.
Exactly.
Get it back out there.
It was my thoughts exactly. And the UTMB even mentioned it on the live broadcast. Amazing. Because I don't think they could find any other information on him apart from what we've done last year.
And you're sitting there going,
yeah, it was, yeah. I genuinely was, yeah.
I might have been 12 months early.
That's it, yeah.
Fucking called it.
Exactly.
For that, my job's safe.
I've
just wasted the whole budget.
I wonder why your budget was so low this year.
That's it, exactly.
I wonder why you were pushing up last Thursday.
I gave him them robot legs at the bottom. Yeah, stick these on, Josh. Yeah,
come on, mate, we need this third place.
I need this from my career, never on yours. So, no, great way.
That's the key then. So then anybody who wants to finish top 3 UTMB needs to come and get a film made by you.
That's it, yeah, exactly. That's the secret, right.
18 months later, boom.
But I think that's a touch, isn't it? So we'll get that planned in, Andy, for next year. You'd be well worthy of a film, mate, definitely. But I think that's a nice way to finish, isn't it? It's been
Before you do, Ben, can you please remember that Garmin sponsored this episode and tell everybody a little bit about that watch?
Yeah, the new Fenix 8. So... bit special this, Chris. I'll tell you because sorry, I'm into this one, aren't I? Yeah, it is the top of the range trail watch with unbelievable battery life. So if anybody is thinking about getting a new watch, thanks for the plug there, Chris, because I'd forgotten to do that. Put Garmin on your radar. Check it out. Me and Gary certainly will, and Chris can read up on them when I give him the facts after this. Sorry, mate.
Sure, I enjoyed dinner.
I'm only winding you up. So yeah, just a great experience from everybody, supporting, running. Well done, Andy, for going as far as you did there. And I mean,
and thanks for coming today as well, because I know, you're probably tired, and jumping on is, obviously we wouldn't have asked many people, so thanks for jumping on.
Oh, cheers, and thank you again for the polls. I know it's just like, they got some good content. I was like, of course they fucking do.
Thanks for throwing us a bone, mate, honestly. Yeah, no, it was good. It was a pleasure, actually. It was really nice, and just that whole story I thought was brilliant. So
funny enough, I had to deliver some cans of Red Bull to Tom at the finish. So that meal's coming out tomorrow.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Well, I hope you get some well-deserved rest, Andy, as well now. Put your feet up, because we're going to try and do the same, aren't we?
Yeah. And you'll be
Time
back
for a couple of beers.
I think so. I think we'll have a couple of beers. 100%, yeah.
You'll be back on for the third one when you're back at it, I think.
Yeah, and we'll have that t-shirt ready, mate. Yeah.
Right,
so without further ado, we'll see you next Tuesday.
No, you won't, mate. I'm not seeing you for a few weeks. Give me 6 months off.
He's going to delete my number now. Block me for a little bit. Not enough of my mug ain't you this week. Just in time, because I'm desperate for a piss. I was squirming around in my seat there.